Hey Samford fans, welcome into another edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. I'm happy to be joined by Samford men's basketball head coach Scott Padgett. Coach, appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're about a month and a half into the basketball season. Just kind of give us a little bit of an overview of what you've seen. You guys are 6-5 as you kind of hit this stretch run of the end of non-conference play. What have you seen, what have you liked, and what have you not liked out of your team?
Well, I think to start with, the two things that stick out to me, if you were going to throw words at it, is chemistry and then consistency. I think we had some injuries during preseason that affected preseason practice. Josh Harkey being a main one, where he missed 10 days of preseason practice, and it's hard to get that chemistry of playing with the guys and having that flow offensively when you're not out there with them. And I thought, to be honest with you, like the first 4 or 5 games, we were struggling with that chemistry. And then just consistency part of it is doing what's working for you and doing it every day. Like we talk about our formula, which is defend, rebound, run, and share the ball. And then we had games where we played Manhattan and Troy, where the ball's moving and it's great and everything. And then you come back and you play La Tech 2 games later and you get 8 assists in a game. And so it's one of those things, just the consistency. I think the offense is coming along now. The last couple, probably 5 out of the last 6 games, the offense has been pretty good. La Tech hurt us too, having another guy down, with DeAndre not playing. But it's one of those things, just trying to get that consistency to where every day, this is who we are and we can count on this and this is what we're going to work to. And not every day is the shot going to go in. But if we work to get a great shot every time down and then we fight on the defensive end, then we'll have a chance to win a lot of games. And so those are the 2 things we're really focusing on.
The next game certainly is a cool opportunity for your team. I'm certain it's one that they've had circled on their calendar for a while. You guys are going to Hawaii this weekend. You're going to play them on Sunday. Talk a little bit about the opportunity to go there, how that game kind of came about on the schedule, and talk a little bit about the team, a pretty good team out of the Big West.
Well, how it came about, to be honest with you, is Hawaii, I think, calls everybody in the country because I think, just with the travel to get there, I think it's hard for them to just fill out a schedule. And I've actually talked to them probably 2 or 3 years in a row now where it just didn't fit within what we had made up on our schedule, but we felt like we had a little opening right after finals, to have an opportunity to go to Hawaii. Guys get a couple days there where you get to enjoy some stuff, and then a day where you're a day and a half there where you're really focused on one thing and one thing only, which is getting the win. But I thought it was pretty cool, and most kids, that's probably a bucket list place, to go travel to. So it's a good opportunity. They're a really good team. They're not a. I don't want to say they're not a deep team because they play probably 11 guys, but they really don't play the 6 off the bench any long minutes. They play 4 starters, I think 33 or 34 plus minutes. So and then the guys off the bench get short runs, but they're really talented. They got one of the best shooters we'll see all year, and a kid named Stansberry. He's kind of got a little like Klay Thompson kind of to him, really, really good shooter and moves without the ball, knows how to play. When he lets it go, you think it's going in. And then, they've got a distinct home advantage in that everybody who flies out there is probably going to have a little jet lag. So we'll practice, on Friday and Saturday, and then the game's on Sunday, and we'll literally get on the plane and fly back and have a rest day and then get ready for Alabama. But it's definitely a unique opportunity, and I think it's something that the guys are looking forward to, but I also think it's an opportunity for us to play a good team and have a chance at winning. And if you go in there and you get that, it's a really good road win for you.
You guys are certainly seeing some big, strong programs to end non-conference play, not just Hawaii, but then you come back, as you mentioned, you've got Alabama here at the BJCC next Wednesday, then you go to Georgetown on Saturday, so a strong finish to the non-conference schedule for sure.
Yeah, and obviously the Alabama game is something that we've been trying to get for 8 years is to be able to play Alabama, and it was the first time I talked to Coach Oates, he was all for it. So I thought it was a great opportunity for us, and then to get to play it in Birmingham at the BJCC and technically our home game, I think that's even better, just to not have to even travel, just to be here and, have our home fans have a chance to come see it, and good atmosphere and crowd, and obviously, a good Alabama team. I think the guys will be excited to play in that game too, obviously with it being the state, the big team in the state. And then we followed it up with Georgetown. Pat was assistant coach when I was with the Rockets. I played against him some. We have a really good relationship, and we kind of set that up through that. And we wanted to be able to get back to the Northeast a little, and some of our guys that are from the Northeast be able to, get a game closer to home. So Sharks, about 2 hours from Philly there, and DeAndre's not too far, and even Dante's got some family up that way. So some of those guys will get to, play a big time opponent. We'll play in the arena the Wizards, the Washington Wizards play in. So it's a TV game. So it's a big opportunity, and they're a good team. They're playing really well since they lost to UNCG a couple weeks ago, and they've played really well since. So obviously another big time program and opportunity, for our program.
And SoCon play right around the corner as well. You start on New Year's Day here against the Citadel. Really strong league last year, shaping up to be a really strong league again this year. What do you expect out of the SoCon?
I don't know that there's a team that's going to run the table, like last year with Wofford, but I think every team's gotten better. If you go from the bottom from last year, Citadel and VMI are better than they were last year. Western Carolina's made a huge jump. I think Mercer's better, Chattanooga's better, and ETSU, everybody's gotten a little bit better. So the league's going to be as tough as it's ever been. I think it's one of those, it's a no nights off league. You got to come ready to play every night, or you're going to get a loss. And if we can go out there and prove ourselves in this league, that'll say something about our program.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Samford head coach Scott Padgett. Stay tuned. We've still got an interview with Robert Allen coming up next.
Hi, I'm Sam Pritchard, and this is the Samford Sports Minute presented by Bromberg's. The volleyball team capped off its season with a loss to Louisville in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Dogs had another great season, winning the SoCon regular season and the SoCon tournament. Senior Kelsey Hobbs was an All-Region AVCA honorable mention for her performance this season. The men's basketball team had a good week last week, defeating Auburn Montgomery on Tuesday and Houston Baptist on Saturday. They head out of town this weekend to take on Hawaii on Sunday before coming back to Birmingham to take on Alabama at the BJCC on Wednesday. The women's basketball team dropped a pair of games last week, falling to UAB and 15th-ranked Kentucky. They're at home this weekend, taking on Western Kentucky on Sunday before heading out of town to take on Murray State next Friday. I'm Sam Pritchard, and this has been your Samford Sports Minute presented by Bromberg's.
Welcome back to the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. I'm joined now by sophomore forward Robert Allen. Robert, appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here, sir.
Well, let's start by talking a little bit about your role last year. You came in as a freshman, made an instant impact. When the season ended, you hit the offseason. What are kind of some of your goals to try to get better for your sophomore season?
Well, I always want to keep my body in shape. Our game consists of a lot of running. So I like to make sure I can play as much as I need for my team and be able to do that without being exhausted, because you lose things like detail. When you get tired, you forget about the details. That's very important in the game. I also want to work on my right hand. A lot of teams try to push me left, and this season I have been able to use my right, just getting more comfortable with using my right. Definitely not my first go-to move, but also my second counter. Another thing is just my shot. If I get my shot together, a lot of open draws will be draws are open for me. So I really want to get my shot, because I was shooting well last season, but I just want to get it more consistent.
And this year, you're off to a really good start again, averaging right around 14 points a game. Do you feel like you've taken a step forward in your game?
Yes, sir. I do feel like I've taken a step forward, not only in my offensive game, but my defensive game. I feel like the game has definitely slowed down more since I, played last year as much as I did. Now I'm accustomed to it, and it doesn't move as fast. My IQ has raised based off what how we've been doing, and like I said, the times I've been in the game and how much I have played. I feel like it has taken a drastic change.
And again, you're just a sophomore, but you're already a key part of this team. You have been since you walked in the door. Do you feel yourself taking on kind of a leadership role already?
Yes, sir. Ever since I was born, I feel like I've always been in a leadership role. My parents raised me well, leadership seems to call my name. I mean, I have a nice personality. And, you know, I feel like our team really bonds. Everybody comes towards me. So, I mean, of course, yes, when I first stepped in here, yes, I had to take on a leadership role, which I was not ready, like unexpectedly I had to take care of. But if I'm by all means, I'm ready to do whatever it takes for my team to be good.
Looking at where the team is right now, you guys are 6-5. You're hitting that home stretch of non-conference play. It's been a little bit of an up and down non-conference season. When you look at this team, what are the strengths and the weaknesses so far that you see out of this team?
So I want to say, like, our strengths are just like when we move the ball, we look phenomenal. We have Josh Sharkey, a nice point guard who can get through. We have Dre, a knockdown shooter, right along with BA, another knockdown shooter. Then you have me, a high motor person, and then you got a big bully down there in the post with JD. So that's a nice starting five. That's for one. So that's like our starting five is definitely our strength. I feel like all the traits everybody contributes to the team is a very like top advantage, I want to say, over anything. We're a very big team, especially because we play a lot of like smaller teams. So I feel like that is also, but our speed, we all can run, we all can get up the floor. We all have the ability to shoot, the ability to drive, the ability to take the ball out, like start the break, all of that. I feel like sometimes our disadvantages could be when the ball gets sticky, when we don't have good ball movement, or when somebody might jump on us soon. We know we have to keep that positive energy. That positive energy really changes the environment, and I feel like that's what we need. I feel like when the ball stops moving, that's when we have problems. But when that ball is moving, we are unstoppable, an unstoppable team.
We got a really exciting game coming up next. You're going to Hawaii this week.
Woo!
Let's talk a little bit about that opportunity. I know it's something you guys are all looking forward to.
I want to say I am so excited to go to Hawaii. One, that has been on my bucket list since I was a kid. That's number one. Two, I'm from Florida, so you know I've been missing the beach. I've been missing the beach so much here in Alabama. But three, it's just finals weeks has been really big. You know, we've been grinding all year. You know, even though it's a business trip, it's a vacation trip, but it's also a business trip. But what is really business when you love what you're doing, which is playing basketball?
And you guys end the non-conference with a couple of big schools right in a row. You're coming back home next week. You got Alabama, not here at the Pete, but at the BJCC here in Birmingham. Another big opportunity against an in-state team.
Right. I'm super excited for us to be we'll be able to open up a lot of doors for us, for the program, for the team itself, for future graduates from Samford coming out in the basketball program. Like, I just feel like we have to really go there and take care of business. You know, like, we really have to set foot like, okay, we're Samford University. This is who we are. Now you guys know.
And you've got SoCon play coming up in a couple of weeks, a really strong league again this year. What are some of your goals for you personally and as a team?
So as a team, we let little games that we should have won. We lost to them, while we let them defeat us. And I really want to make sure we come in and set the tone. You know, they always put Samford like 6th or 7th. And I really want them to like, it's okay, let everybody sleep. It's okay. We all gonna go to sleep, but we gonna wake everybody up. We gonna wake everybody up, and that's my main goal for us. I want everybody to know what Samford, like, I want them to be like, oh, Samford, yeah, I know about that school. Oh, that kid from Samford. Oh, wait, them boys over there from Samford. Like, everybody's gonna know about us by the end of the SoCon tournament. For myself, like I said, I really never have as much self goals. I'm more team oriented. So as long as my boys doing good, as long as we get in dubs, I mean, I can never be. As long as we get a dub, I can have 0 points, and we get a dub, I'm happy because we won. Most of the time, it's not about yourself; it's more about the team in general. And things when you focus on the team, you'll find that your goals, like the goals that you want for yourself, are going to happen. When you start focusing more on yourself, that's when your goal as a team doesn't go, and then you don't improve on yourself when you're only focusing on yourself.
Robert, appreciate your time, man. Best of luck.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
Special thanks to Robert Allen and head coach Scott Padgett for joining me on this edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up. We'll see you next week.
See you.